You guys probably have seen him on weekday mornings arguing with Skip Bayless, debating on ESPN's First Take. He's also an esteemed writer for ESPNNewYork.com and ClickOnDetroit.com. So without further ado, Rob Parker, everybody.
Wow, that's bigger cheers. That's good. Bigger cheers than I get from Skip when I walk into the studio.
Rob, what's up with you?
What's happening,
Thanks
guys?
For coming
doing
on.
all right?
Yeah,
no
we're
problem.
doing all right. I missed you this morning. I'm on the show looking for you this morning, and I see you weren't there to give Skip your 2 cents. But
I was on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of this week, so that was it.
Skip got tired of getting beat.
There you go. You can't have me around too much now.
Yeah, he was getting it this morning from Jalen. But look, we're gonna jump right into it because we're gonna ask you about a few different subjects. We're not gonna stick to just one thing. We spoke a little bit about this earlier. The Mike Shanahan, Donovan McNabb situation. First of all, what are your thoughts on McNabb's performance this season, and what are your thoughts on him being benched with, less than 2 minutes to go in that game?
Well, I covered the game. I was against the Lions. I was here at the game in Detroit, and I don't know. I would not have put Rex Grossman in. I don't think that was the right move. But
right.
I don't think Donovan McNabb has played well at all. The stuff that I've seen and the way he played, if you saw that pick he threw at the end of the game, to me, he blew the game for Washington. He threw a pick into triple coverage in their, down on their end of the field, which set up, which turned the game really for the Lions. There was 3 minutes to go, and the Redskins, had they been able to get a first down or do something with that, probably could have won that football game. And even the win that they had the week before in Chicago, he played terrible. So the problem I have with Mike Shanahan, the problem I have with Shanahan, just be honest. Just say he hasn't played well enough, or I thought he was terrible at the end of the game, and you know what? I know Rex hasn't played, but I just tried to do something different. But I'm just not happy with Donovan's play. When you start talking about conditioning and whether or not somebody's good at the 2-minute drill and all that other stuff, you lose credibility. So I think that's the bad part for Shanahan.
Exactly. Well, you answered my second part of the question I was going to ask you about his attempts at damage control, because I actually had the same thoughts, where I actually think he made it worse trying to do damage control, because now you're making Donovan look like, he's lazy, out of shape, and you want to give him all the injury excuses, kind of how Andy Reid used to do in Philadelphia. By the way, you're speaking to 5 guys from Philly, so we really didn't think Donovan was as great as everybody makes him out to be in the first place. But I don't know. It seems that he may be proving us right now. So, Paul, you want to take it away?
The problem I was going to say, the other thing, too, is when a team trades you in their own division, it tells you, A, that they don't respect you, and B, that they don't think you could hurt them. So it says a lot that the Eagles would even think about trading him to Washington. So I think that's how you have to look at it.
Right.
Rob. Yeah, Rob, this is TJ. Another question I have for you pertains to the whole Randy Moss fiasco. Basically, why do you think essentially he was cut, and do you think that Childress made the right decision by doing so?
I think it's a horrible decision. I think it's dumb. I think if you're the Vikings and your season's on the brink, you can't tell me you have more of a chance of making the playoffs without Randy Moss than you do with him. And the other thing is, I just don't. Childress is a terrible coach who's going to get fired at the end of the year. He's done nothing but make mistake after mistake. And the thing I can't get over is you can't marry an alcoholic and then be mad that on the way home he wants to stop by the liquor store. Okay, you knew what you were getting with Randy Moss. You knew that's why that organization got rid of him before. So I don't understand that. You know what? Childress can't have thin skin because Randy Moss showed his love for the New England Patriots and then, questioned some of the coaching that he tried to tell them what the Patriots ran. And I guess they ignored him, and then the stuff played out in the game. So I guess if Childress can't accept criticism in that situation, then I guess he would react that way. I just think it's a dumb move.
How much do you think that has to do with that dinner?
It seems almost that, they're trying to put the whole, cutting of Randy Moss on the whole tirade that he did in terms of the food at Friday's practice. But I hear some insiders say that, they think it's more based on his press conference in New England when he essentially...
Of course it is.
Had a love fest with...
That stuff about the food, that's just nitpicking. That's that nonsense when you don't have anything real, so you throw something out like that. I mean, to tell me that he didn't like the food or the caterer is the reason he's not on the team would be the most ludicrous and dumbest thing I've ever heard. So I'm not buying that. That's just nitpicking to me to find something to say. See, you can't get along with him in the locker room because he chastised a caterer. I mean, come on, really?
Yeah, Rob, this is Brad. I'm kind of with you there. I feel as though we're looking at two coaches, one in Shanahan and two in Childress and management behind him that are losing credibility by throwing stupid excuses out there and asking the public to kind of swallow it.
Right.
I agree with that. I just think that it sounds stupid. That's why 80% of the people in Minneapolis in that Star Tribune poll want Childress fired immediately because it doesn't make any sense with what's going on. And now I thought Rice was coming back like ASAP. If you're going to make a move like that, you're going to have somebody for Brett Favre to throw to. Who does he have to throw to? And you know what? He opens up so much stuff for so many people by being out there. And ask Wes Welker all about that now, whose numbers have diminished and fallen off the face of the earth since Randy Moss left. It's just a fact.
Right.
Good point. Hey, Rob, this is Akil. And going into NBA talk, I have a question about LeBron James. He's having some regrets on how the decision went down recently. Now, will his remorse help to rebuild his image?
I don't know about that. I just think I'm surprised that he still doesn't get it or understand. It's even like the Nike commercial that they made. He's so sensitive and thin-skinned. I've never seen a pro athlete be so sensitive. And, you make decisions, you have to live with them. And if you really believe that Charles Barkley, Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, and Michael Jordan are just picking on you for making that decision and they don't understand you and they don't get it, I just feel sorry for him. All I know is people are disappointed for one reason and one reason only, not because he left Cleveland, not because he didn't call the owner and make some other mistakes. That's not it. They're upset because he had the chance, possibly, to be considered the greatest player of all time. He had a chance, at least. Somebody who came along after Michael Jordan could look at it and say, wow, this guy could be the greatest of all time. But he cashed out early, and instead of trying to win and build his own legacy, to join another guy in Dwayne Wade who's already won a championship. That's what the disappointment is, because people say, well, what if he goes to Miami and wins 5 championships or 6 championships? Wouldn't he be the greatest? I say no, because Dwayne Wade already has a championship, so he had 7. So he would be better.
Exactly. Before Brad, this is Devin. Before Brad weighs in, let me tell our listeners, if you want to call in and ask Rob a question real quick, you can give us a call at 323-410-0012. All right, Brad.
Okay. Rob, my question for you, succinctly, we've got a little movement going on for AI, and it's called AI can't get a run. And my question for you is, as I look around the league at the quality of backcourts and guard play, talk to us a little bit about your feelings and opinion on why AI can't get a run when Kevin Ollie is still on the roster.
Well, I understand that, but AI wouldn't accept. AI had to swallow his pride, and if he would have accepted a role off the bench, playing 20-some-odd minutes, coming off and being instant offense, he would have played for a long time because he can do that. He was unwilling, and in every situation he went to, he muddied the water, and that's why people don't want a veteran who's not willing to understand or accept that you're not the same guy you were 15 or 14 years ago. You're not. It's just not the case. And Grant Hill did it. A lot of players have gone to the bench and had very long careers and decided that okay, I might not be the star that I once was, but I could be a very vital piece to a team and go and be somewhere. And he never wanted to do that, and that's why he's not in the NBA. And everywhere he went, he just did not. He did it in Detroit. They tried to bring him back to Philly, Charlotte. Just everywhere he went, he caused issues and problems, and that's a shame. I mean, not Charlotte, the other place he went.
Detroit, Memphis.
He went to Memphis. Yeah.
Right. This is Devin. Do you think that it was too little too late? Because prior to signing this deal to go play in Turkey, he did say that he would take any role that he was given. But do you think that was too little too late?
Yeah, because when he went to Memphis, supposedly he was going to be a team player, and the first thing he got down there, he started crying that he wasn't starting. I mean, as soon as he got there. And so that's when they knew that wasn't going to work. And once you have a guy like that, and your skills start to diminish, people don't want you around because it's just going to be a headache. And if you're not going to fall in line and be about the team and take your ego out of it, they're not going to use you. And unfortunately, that's where he finds himself.
All right.
Okay, Rob, this is the last host. This is Jimmy. I have a quick question for you. I want to preface the question by saying I grew up a huge baseball fan, loved baseball, had season tickets, but I find myself not even caring anymore. I mean, it's gotten to the point now, like during the season, I'd rather watch reruns of Sanford and Son than to watch a baseball game. And my question to you is, is there anything that baseball can do to bring, to try to bring the sport back? Because I hear a lot of people with the same complaints I do, just don't care anymore.
Well, I don't get it because baseball has never been more popular as far as tickets sold. So you might not be going, but 76 million people in this country buy baseball tickets every year.
I've seen the ticket sales, but I'm talking about in terms of like their TV. Like on TV, they don't get the same rating. I mean, they lost to a regular season football game.
Yeah, but you can't always judge that because the only problem with football, and football is distorted as well because there's so few games, and people bet on football. Football's popularity is fueled by gambling. So people need to understand that. And baseball's not a sport you can gamble on the way you do football. But most of football's popularity is gambling. It's the same reason why football went off of broadcast TV with Monday Night Football because they didn't have good ratings. It's the same reason why the commissioner tried to get wrestling Monday Night Raw to move its date because it was getting killed by wrestling on Monday night. And baseball is definitely a better game in person. I love watching it. I'm a Hall of Fame voter. I watch baseball all summer, every night that I can watch baseball, but I'm different. I'm a different cat.
Yeah. Well,
I'll
be honest with you.
You got to be careful. You got to be careful. Go ahead.
I was saying in terms of a live sport, I don't think there's anything like baseball. I've always told everybody that. I said in terms of a live sport, I don't like watching football in person. I love going to the ballpark for a baseball game, but in terms of TV, this doesn't translate the same way that football does.
Yeah, football is just different. Like I said, it's easier because it's once a week. Your commitment to the sport is small. So in baseball, if I don't watch Monday night's game, there's a game Tuesday night, there's a game Wednesday night, there's a game Thursday night. But if you're following your team and there's a game on Monday, Sunday, that's the only game you have to worry about all week.
Yeah.
It's totally different. When you look at the ratings for baseball, you can't do it on a one baseball game versus one football game. It would be 10 baseball games ratings versus one football game. That's how 16 games compared to 162 would have to break out like that.
That's a great point. I have one question based on it. Do you think baseball should shorten their season? Would that do any help?
Yeah, I would like all the sports to shorten their season. Baseball would be nice. The NBA should be 60 games. I would like all of them to shorten, to be honest.
Okay, got you.
All right, well, this is Devin again. We had a caller on the line, but it looks like they dropped. So, Rob, we're going to thank you for calling in. We loved it, and we would love to have you back sometime. It was good talking to you, brother.
All right, appreciate it. Yep, you guys, much success, and hopefully you'll have me on again. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thanks a lot, Rob.